A couple of the videos on this channel has been dedicated to wading through the stinkiness of American adaptations of British shows. It's a fire that's been raging since the quirky quaintness of British media has slowly made its way across the pond, and subsequently doused with a jerry can of gas every time some out-of-touch American producer decides they want to buy a new beach house. And it's almost always met with the same outrage from either an aggravated Englishman that doesn't like their things to be touched, or frustrated American that the cute little niche British show they fell in love with has been butchered by the very country they reside in. But today I thought I'd flip the script, because I reject the idea that Americans just don't understand British humour. They can't recreate our same self-deprecating style, their egos are too big. They just can't imagine a show being popular if the main character is unlikable or decrepit or a down-on-their-luck loser, except when they are. I don't believe that the epidemic of adaptations is completely one-sided. We're guilty of it too. I mean, not even nearly as much, but I recently found a show that's a pretty damning case of this. A show, by the way, and I'm not being hyperbolic here, but is some of the worst experiences I've had watching any content in a while. And it just so happens to be a British adaptation of an American show. Now, before I explain myself, let's first take a look at the show this piece of dogshit is imitating. Impractical Jokers is an American prank show that began in 2011 and is still going to this day. Now, from YouTube stats, the majority of my audience are fellow Brits. Like me. And whilst I watched the show at a fairly early age and enjoyed it, I'm fully aware some of you are stretching your finger muscles, raring to type into the comment section, well, original was shit anyway. And whilst I disagree, I do understand. This show is a great example of loud and obnoxious editing, which is one of the key motivators behind distinguishing American from British TV in the first place.
My aim was for a Kiwi barbecue.
I thought that. That sort of
Salads.
territorial Kiwi beach life.
Something like that, yeah.
But sweetheart, we're not in fucking Auckland.
I
We're in
know.
Sandgate.
Does it blow you away? Are you excited?
No,
Are
it doesn't
you
blow me away. I think it's all over the place.
straight up? Would you eat it?
No.
No, but you have to serve it to me.
You can easily prefer one of these styles or enjoy them both, and in keeping with what I'm going to explore further into the video, neither of these styles are right or wrong. You can make an argument for both, and an argument for either has flaws. The faster paced, louder editing keeps viewers engaged and matches the energy of what's happening on screen. I mean, yeah, but it also does take us closer to the slippery slope of all our content becoming 3-second long colourful screaming brain rot. Or, on the other hand, the quieter, slower paced editing allows us to fully digest what's happening on screen and lets us relate to the subjects of the entertainment. I mean, yeah, but a show about 4 guys messing with the public for half an hour isn't exactly attempting to be deep digestible high art in the first place. It's a case-by-case basis. Both of these styles can coexist and be utilised where appropriate. And to be fair, look, if you completely ignore the graphics and the music and the title cards and the edited in laughing from the guys, there are shows with much more obnoxious editing, but for the average UK viewer, I think we're just not used to this much cheese in our TV. But if you're unfamiliar with the show, it centres around 4 best friends, Joe, Sal, Q and Mur, as they mess with the public on the street or in a supermarket or wherever, whilst the other 3 watch from hidden cameras and give quirky or embarrassing orders to the other guy through an earpiece. Nothing revolutionary, but it's no secret the main reason this show works so well is because of these 4 guys. In 1999, Joe, Mur and Sal, along with another member, Mike Boccio, who left shortly before the show was picked up by networks, decided to start a comedy improv group called the Tenderloins. Around the early 2000s, after Brian Quinn joined to replace Boccio, the group would be uploading corny skits to YouTube and touring their strange improv comedy around the globe. When Impractical Jokers was picked up by True TV in 2011, they became, as Joe puts it,
we're an 18-year overnight success, right? People are like, who are these guys? Oh, they're friends. Yeah, you know how much we tried and failed?
And it's not really a surprise. These guys have known each other since high school, which is a pretty unbeatable comedic dynamic to have, but also if you watch them in interviews and podcasts, they do seem like genuinely nice, likeable, self-aware people. Obviously, it's nice to be nice, but also it does show the core intent of a premise that could easily morph into exploitation of unsuspecting passers-by.
The license to be able to say no is what kept the show in its right space.
Yeah.
Because you are choosing the good of somebody else's existence over you, and that's what it's about, right? It was like, okay, all right, this is gonna suck for me. I'm gonna lose one. Hopefully, I'll make it up in the next one and not get punished. But I can't tell this woman that she looks pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not gonna do it. You know.
As I mentioned, I used to watch this show quite a bit as a kid, but somewhere along the line, I began to lose interest. Mainly due to my tastes changing and becoming pretty sick of the flashy and cheesy presentation. But after rewatching the show for this video, I've done a bit of a 180. Or I guess 360 from my initial watch. After watching these four in media outside of the show and gaining huge respect for them as friends and as people, I realised that not only does the over-edited presentation not hinder the on-screen chemistry of the four, I think it's actually kind of vital to the show working. And in contrast, trying to copy this style is exactly why the British version fails so embarrassingly. Impractical Jokers UK is the most irritating and uncomfortable show I've ever watched, which is surprising seeing as the amount of footage available of it is extremely minimal, unless you have both a Roku stick and a VPN. Can't hide from me, you fucking rats. Shut up! The four Impractical Jokers in this version, or as they're listed in the credits, comedians, are Paul McCaffrey, Joel Dommett, Marek Larwood, and Roisin Connerty. I know her. Now look, I'm sure these people can be funny. Roisin is good on Catster's Countdown, but most of them don't really have much experience with the type of improv needed to carry a show like this. None of them really know how to run with the punches under pressure. When the four boys are fucking with the public in the original, part of the fun is them establishing and then keeping to a funny narrative.
If I steal stuff, you got my back?
If I steal stuff, you got my back?
No. Go steal something in front of him. Go, keep stealing stuff.
But part of why the UK version is just kind of weird and uncomfortable to watch is because the prompts given by the other three have no consistency. They're always just random tasks. This results in some very mundane, strange moments.
My juices are really flowing now. My juices are really flowing now.
Now start rubbing him really, really fast.
Every time you touch your nose and her, go ding!
Sing, make up a song about how much you've enjoyed washing hair.
Claire, Claire, I've enjoyed washing your hair.
Roisin, do some weird fucking shit.
I love washing your hair.
It's maybe really wide down there.
Maybe really wide. A little howl.
Oh. Thank you very much, Nico. Right now, if you fancy just give me...
Fuck with these people.
Yeah, then do a horrible voice. Say, not relaxed. Not relaxed. And then
Make them think they're in a weird, fucked up, twisted reality.
Take a big bite out of it, smack it on your head.
Yeah, okay,
Punch him.
I'm with you. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, sure, okay. Oh, weird, okay. You didn't have
Fuck
to
their
do that.
minds up.
as you can tell, it's brand new.
I don't need Claire.
Drink.
I don't need Claire.
Get over the side. I don't need her.
I don't fucking need Claire.
Make him
You
uncomfortable.
probably buy a bottle of
Make
this.
him uncomfortable.
I don't need her. I don't fucking need her.
Do some weird shit.
Throw all of it
Do
on the
some
floor.
weird shit to that guy. Yeah, touch him.
What is your favourite juice to drink?
Orange juice,
Orange juice.
natural from Florida.
Tell him that Florida just doesn't exist.
Okay. Florida doesn't exist.
Florida doesn't exist.
It's a rumour.
Ah, okay. All right. I think we're going to end this conversation right now. Thanks very much.
Yeah, tell him Florida doesn't exist. That would be a good reaction. Oh, he just walked away because you were saying weird, meaningless things. Quickly, tell him the Great Barrier Reef is made of custard. Every single prompt just turns into make this person think you're a little bit mental or that you're filming a hidden prank show. Which means we get a total of 2 reactions. Confusion and a tinsy bit of horror, which is always nice to see on innocent members of the public, or suspiciously laughing like they're at least partly aware of the context. Now, look, sometimes from the US show, you get a little bit of a vibe that the subjects are slightly in on it. The majority of the time they give very real, genuine reactions, but sometimes these people seem a little too open and not exactly concerned enough about the employee acting a bit mental, but I let that slide because it doesn't hinder my enjoyment of the show. There always seems like a reasonable explanation. Like, they've been set up in the same lane of the supermarket, messing with people for hours, causing mayhem, and the other employees are just standing around giggling to themselves. Depending on at what point they shot some of these moments and what happened before, there might be some people who are slightly in on the joke. Fine, I don't care. I don't think it's misleading. Anyone who knows the first thing about making a hidden camera prank show with this much prep and budget and a half an hour runtime knows there's going to be some liberties in terms of realism. And anyone who doesn't know anything about producing a TV show like this aren't going to pick up on these moments anyway. But the people either slightly in on it or subtly aware something out of the ordinary is going on still give good reactions. I think it's an intent issue. We don't know how much of this or any hidden prank show are staged and to what degree they are. It's almost impossible without a moment-by-moment dissection of the behind-the-scenes production by Impractical Joker's very own James Murray. He didn't want to do it though. What it ultimately comes down to is, do you feel like you're being manipulated? Watch this very suspicious scene from the UK version. The goal here is to try and get the stranger you go up to and ask for directions to kiss you. But none of these strangers act in any way that makes logical sense. I get it, it's not an everyday situation. Someone comes up and asks for directions and then tries to make a physical move on you. But the way this man acts is suspiciously unnatural. He just kind of stands there for like a really long time and lingers.
Oh, that's amazing. It's so nice to meet you.
I'm gonna kiss you, sorry.
It's so weird. No, don't do that. He doesn't know what to do. He decided. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Stop, I'm gonna kiss you. I'm gonna kiss you.
It kind of seems like he's either having like a deep debate with himself whether to succumb to his desires and kiss Roisin, or someone with a clipboard and an earpiece ran up to him moments before and said, excuse me, we're filming a TV show, someone's going to come up and their goal is to try and kiss you. Now, act completely naturally, don't give in unless you feel compelled to, then go for it, but don't overthink it, don't act weird. We need content, but act naturally, don't overthink it, straight away, but maybe don't give in, but don't act naturally, act naturally. Look, you know, I get it, I'm nitpicking. This guy could have been genuinely, thinking, oh yeah, or maybe, hence the hesitation. But I mean, there's a disconnect there. It was a weird moment and they just kind of brushed past it. I want my uncomfortable feelings and confusion to be validated by the hosts. At least one of them just be like, that was kind of fucking weird. That was kind of a fucking weird moment. And there's so many more examples of this happening that just shows the lack of thought when it comes to the viewer's response to watching this show, which is kind of an important thing. But the main goal of this show should be to make me question this type of behind the scenes stuff as little as possible. Now, when filming a hidden camera prank show, as well as the footage of the main crew doing their funny things, what's the only other key subject that needs to be captured? You guessed it, the reactions of the people. But most of the time, the reactions from the actual people giving their reactions are either obscured because the entire bit has their face covered by a massage chair, or the cameras aren't set up in the right place to show them to the full extent. And bless them, I know the budget is smaller. I mean, I had more people round for Christmas last year than this show had crew, but that doesn't stop them from putting a bit of imagination into their ideas. For this task, they have to wander around a park and try and keep a conversation going for a long time. They all end up getting like 1 minute.
What are you doing now? You going to a disco or anything, or?
No, just walking.
Okay. I think I might go to a disco later on. Okay, well, super.
Enjoy yourself.
All right then, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Take care. I'm going to look at that stone again.
Who thought this was fun to watch? Who can drag an awkward, slightly painful interaction on for 50 seconds? How much does it cost to put a blindfold on and have the others tell you to do stuff? That's more entertaining than this.
Now just walk straight. Oh my God. Keep going, buddy. There's nothing in front of you. Straight. Go straight. Okay, stop. Okay, now just start going, psst. Come here. Psst. Come here. Psst. Come here. Psst. Hey, you. Come here. Come here. Take your glasses off. Take your glasses off. Oh no!
Don't get me wrong, there is uncomfortable moments in Impractical Jokers, but there's still a level of entertainment there. I mean, I genuinely have trouble watching the foul ball moment from the US version, but you can't deny it's fucking entertaining.
What do we do here, fellas?
I mentioned earlier about how important intent is when it comes to these types of shows. If you're a fan of the original Impractical Jokers, you'll know that in almost every situation, these four are the butt of the joke. Even when they're being made to be rude or inconvenient to people, these four are the ones suffering, and their suffering is where the majority of the enjoyment comes from.
Just a signature. Nothing to it, nothing big. It's for the, oh boy, the public restroom masturbation. I don't blame you, sir.
But so many times the UK version does seem like they're just reveling and fucking with people.
Reuse, because I think it's a really bad thing that...
So I'll take them now.
I'll take them now.
And now immediately throw them over your shoulder.
Okay. I mean...
Thank you.
Say sorry, I really need to have a drink now.
I need to get some booze in me now.
Bye.
Thank you very much, though.
Which isn't the point. I'm sure these four are nice people, but somewhere along the line, the fact that they should at all times be the butt of the joke was clearly missed, and that's a huge part of providing the warmth the original had. But being self-deprecating was supposed to be our thing. I thought Americans couldn't do that. Which brings us to the final and main point I want to make regarding remakes as a whole. If you're gonna adapt something, adapt it. The key is in the name. All of these American remakes of British shows, the issue isn't simply that Americans don't understand our humour. A lot of the time it's that every aspect of the original is trying to be emulated, not only by a country that just factually has a different cinematic language and style to that of the original, but people making the show with forced, manufactured intentions. Gavin and Stacey was made because James Corden and Ruth Jones had a good idea for a show. Us and Them was made because Gavin and Stacey was popular and some random dude thought they could make some money off of it. Would I Lie to You was made because somewhere someone had a new idea for a panel show. The American Would I Lie to You was made because somewhere someone thought they could take someone else's concept and invest in it to make some money off of it. When nothing transformative is added, all you're doing is reaping the benefits from someone else's good idea. Don't just swap out the actors. Play to your own unique strengths, adapt the style, adapt the idea, adapt something. And The Office is a glaring representation of that. I mean, prefer one or both or neither, I don't care. They're both good shows. Bottom line is, the first season of the remake didn't work because nothing transformative was added. They tried to emulate our British style and it didn't work because they're not British. And when the show did work is when they accepted they can't just copy a different culture's style and put their own spin on it. They made it warmer, they made their characters more memorable, more quotable, more likeable. This worked for the American Office. This wouldn't have worked for the English Office. They're two different shows. But we've done the same shit here. But in my opinion, worse. Not only have we added nothing transformative to this version of the show, in turn making it a lesser product, but at least when the US adapt our shows, there's a small, tiny, minute chance that the show might reach a new audience. But who the hell is watching this version of the show over the original anyway? Especially with the added Frankensteinian aspect of trying to copy the American style. The weird puppets and awful music, the narrator with zero personality, the quick edits and graphics. You're trying to be something you're not, England. And it's not exactly like our style can't lend itself to this type of format. I mean, look at Ali G, Trigger Happy TV with Dom Jolly. Do you remember Dom Jolly? Don't get me wrong, there's countless examples of adaptations adopting the style of the original country's work, as well as the concept itself. And it's a beautiful thing when it works. But definitely regarding this show, as well as the many examples of American to English adaptations, when there isn't a passionate auteur at the helm, it's definitely a smarter decision to just honour the essence of the original whilst also infusing local flavour and context. But I get it, it's a stupid show about pranking people. You know, am I going too deep on this? That's what your mum said. But that's all it boils down to at the end of the day. Remakes are gonna continuously be made for the rest of time, and that's okay. Because every now and then we might get a little gem where the original was respected and given new life by a different culture with a different style. And that's the beautiful thing about art. It brings us together as one. and we all kiss each other. Right, that's it from me. Don't watch this, it's bad. But maybe use it as an example. Think of this absolute monstrosity next time our cousins from across the pond try to squirt out a one-and-done series of horrid Henrys set in New Jersey. We're all guilty of it. So do better, humanity. Do better. Goodbye. Mwah.